Okay, no worries. Till that, you can set up your things, okay? Till that,
Okay.
I'll share my screen and I'm going to show you about what is exactly the SQL is and how we need to operate on that, okay?
Okay.
So let me click on entire screen, Windows, okay, Windows. Search on entire screen, that would be better. I believe my screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
Is it my SQL workbench is also visible to you?
Yes.
Perfect. So let it be closed. Let me close those things. Don't save. Training. There is so many. Let me delete them. Delete connection. So the major question before jumping into SQL also, do you
Mm.
know why SQL is that effective? Why we are using SQL? Why not any other tool?
Mm, because in MySQL we just use one query and you can get the data easily.
What you said? Can you please repeat once?
Uh, Using MySQL query, you can access all the database very easily.
That's the concern now. But why SQL only? There is another languages also, right? Like a MongoDB, we can say, like any other tools are also there. So many tools are there actually who can do that specific test. Okay, who can handle the data for you? Maybe way better than this. Then why MySQL only? Why not other two? So I believe my screen is visible, right? White screen.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let me tell you why SQL. Why not any other tool? Because you know what, previously, like in the historic matter, there is a people actually in the industry who can do the data analytics by using Java and then C++, like this kind of languages. But
Mm.
after that, Python came in the picture. User-friendly language, okay, very good
Mm.
language. So people are using that specific language, and it's going to be like it's going to be like a very popular in the market. So people are using it for analytics. Nowadays, there is another language named as what I can say, Ruby. The Ruby language is there nowadays. People are using Ruby. Ruby is way easier than Python. So
Mm.
you know what? People changing themselves based on the time limits. But the concern is in the database language, SQL is from the starting only people are using SQL. Till there is no upgradation. Why? Why SQL is that matter? That is the biggest question. I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you a scenario first. The scenario is quite easy for to understanding. Let's suppose you are a board of director. You are a
Mm.
director, managing director. We're standing over here. Now I want to tell you about in the company we have multiple departments, right? There is a HR. There is another department that is I can say process. There is another department that is called marketing, right? There is another department that is a sales, right? So these all are the departments. So let's suppose if managing director want to convey. Now one thing is they all are separate from each other, right? They are maintaining their own data by in their own departments. So what they doing? They are actually reporting to that guy, to the managing director, means to you. So sometime it's going to be very hectic for managing director to cope up with all departments to make them in sync. Okay. it is going to be very big challenge for the managing directors to cope up with all the things, because they are taking the what I can say, follow from individual ones. Let's suppose I'm managing director, so first I'm going to the whom, HR, to take their to take their feedback. Okay, then I'm going to process to understand what are their the things that they are doing nowadays. Then I need to do the manufacturing. So what is the thing here in the specific role? We have a multiple tables, and those all are independent from each other. These all are what? These all are independent from each other. This is going to be very big thing. It is going to be very big thing. So now what happened after that? So such system. Let me tell you about such system. Such system is called DBMS. Means all data department maintaining their data, but individually. Okay, and they are all are separated, isolated from each other. So that is called database management system. What is it called? Database
management system.
Management system. In other language, DBMS. Okay. Remember the specific thing. Now we are going to jump on RDBMS. Okay. So what has happened here? Some mathematicians, some what I can say, scientists came in the picture. Okay, and they made a new law. They said we are going to connect those all departments. The first department is going to be HR. Second is going to be process. Okay. Third is going to be marketing. Right, and the last is going to be sales. So these are the departments. What they simply did, they made the connection in between them. What they simply did, they made a connection in between them. Now by using what they made a connection, so that is called constraint. Okay, so by using constraint, they made connection. Okay. Now whenever I say constraint, what does it means? You may be heard about primary key and foreign key, right?
Yeah.
So basically primary key and foreign key are the constraints. So by using primary key and foreign key, we are actually connecting the tables. So the guy who is seated here, right? We call the director MD, right? So now it is very easy for him for accessing all the data at the same time. It is going to be very easy for him to access all the data from the different what I can say, databases. And he's going to take the he's able to connect the HR data with the sales data. He was able to connect the marketing data and sales data to take a numbers, how much you marketize and how was the sales was going to be happen, right? How process is going to be conducted by the HR, so that we can collect out all the basic information about the about the system. Okay, so remember that this is something that actually solved by using RDBMS. So such system is called RDBMS. The system is called RDBMS. Now RDBMS stand for Relational Database Management System. Okay. There is no as such difference between DBMS and RDBMS. Only these constraints are going to be connect the tables. That is called RDBMS. Okay. In the another language, let me tell you, this is called infrastructure. Remember my word. This whole stuff is called infrastructure. Because I am going to use this word, that's why I'm telling you this. Okay, this is called infrastructure. Now we have the RDBMS. Okay. And this functionality, now the concern is this RDBMS functionality is only possible in SQL. That's why SQL is that much important nowadays, and still there is no replacement of this. Understood? This functionality, RDBMS functionality is only possible in SQL. That's why SQL is still irreplaceable. There is no as such language we can see who can do these kind of performance. Okay, and that is the reason behind companies are still using the RDBMS. Understood? That is why companies are still using SQL also. Now let's talk about the application of, let me change the color to black. I am saying Application of SQL. What do you think? What are the applications of SQL as per your knowledge?
Mm.
Tell me. As per your knowledge, what do you think? What are the applications of SQL? Let me take some water till that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a banking system?
Yeah, you're saying something? Go ahead.
Is it a banking system application?
See, we are the data science persons, right? We never connect out to the data domains most of probably. Okay. So banking is a domain, right?
Yeah.
So you know what? As an analytical person, I always expect the answer in the technical word. So remember this thing that I'm going to tell you now.
Mm.
The first one is called infrastructure development. And second one, okay, that is called data retrieval. What are the stuff are? Infrastructure development and data retrieval. We are going to retrieve the data. Now let me tell you something about this. Okay. So this is
Mm.
basically infrastructure, right? We first
Yeah.
need to create a tables and all, right? So that is called infrastructure development. Let me show you how exactly it looks like. Okay, let me go in my drive folder. In the drive folder, I can search for what I can search. Yeah, data dictionary. Updated data, final updated data dictionary. Some actually years back, I believe it's like a 1 year I completed this specific project. I don't remember the time exactly, but
Mm.
you know what is the main thing about this specific project? Let me tell you that. This is something that I utilize to create a development. Okay, there is some phases for creating a what I can say entire infrastructure. So there is some stages to make develop an infrastructure. First step, you need to create a data dictionary. What is the first step you need to do? You need to create a data dictionary. Remember that. So whenever I want to create a data dictionary, so there was a peoples in the industry who are actually having the more than 3 4 5 years of experience who make a data dictionary based on the requirement. But you need to be very specialized in the data scientist role. Okay,
Mm.
so there was a few sheets I have. Let me go through those sheets. Okay, it actually information written over here contain the name of database with the table name present in the database. Okay, the sheet one is containing what? Contain the name of database with the table names present in the database. In this
Mm.
schema contain 97 different tables. Means in this data we have 97 tables. Okay, we provided a 97 different color palette. Means
Mm.
each table having a different color. This
Dictionary.
sheet this should also contain the description about the table that help us to understand the table using the existing system. Okay. Now let's
Mm.
suppose there is a table. So we need to understand that table is utilized for what, right?
Yeah.
Like let's suppose you also when you join the company, you are joining company in the middle, right? So there is
Yes.
already some infrastructure was developed, and let's suppose you want to know about those databases. So how are you going to do that? So that time people are using this kind of data dictionaries. Most probably you are not responsible for that. There is a people like a data scientist, data engineers who actually do that. But you
Mm.
know what? When you join the industry, so you must need to have a knowledge on these kind of things are also present in the company, right? That's why. Second thing is a schema. This sheet contain the schema name and the table name with the attribute. Means it's going to show you the column names also.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go. There is total of how many 106 attributes present. Means there is a into all the tables we have total 1064 columns. And the last one is utilized for schema different tables. Let's go one by one. So this is the first table, but schema name. Schema means database name simply. ePulse is a database name. Now let me tell you about the project. In previously there was one polling company, okay, present in the USA. You know about polling booth, right? In
Yeah.
India, if you you want to do the voting, you need to go to your nearest polling booth. Same kind of infrastructure USA also have. Okay, they have certain what I can say infrastructure for that. So that company was exactly came to me and they asked me to make a data dictionary for that. Okay, they gave me access of entire stuff. Okay, and they asked me to do it. I was like, okay, okay, and I took like a more than like a I can say 4 or 5 months to complete this. Only one sheet. Because you know what? This table name, understanding how many departments they have, based on that, let's take a collection of is that data is important for the company or not. And based on that, I need to create the tables. So I'll go through all the requirements and I made total 97 tables. Okay, last one is poll worker. Poll worker means whoever is going to work on those polls. Okay, that is called poll. So see, there was a written that what exactly the thing is. You know what is the most challenging thing for me? Find the 97 color palettes. These all
Color.
colors are different from each other.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very difficult for me. Okay. So there is a table name and the table description. Now, when you join the company, most of the companies are provide the data dictionaries to understand the databases. Okay. And let's go in the next one that is called schema. In the schema, what you have? You have a table name and you have a column names present in that table, right?
Yeah.
Now maybe you got that why I give the color palettes because the different color palette representing the different tables, right? That's why.
Yeah.
Then I have a type means what data type I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and these are not that important, but this column is again important description.
This.
What exactly that column is trying to describe you that is written over here. This indicate the name, whatever it is, right? So this is also going to take like a 4 to 5 months to complete. So if I'll go at the end, you see that there is a different color palettes here. This table contains so many columns. Which one? Poll workers contain so many, columns inside that data. When I'll go at the end, so this is the poll worker is going to be my last row. Okay, and in that row, it was saying created at. So this is capture the timestamp or date poll worker creates the record. Okay, that is actually recording in that one. So that is going to help you to solve the complex queries. So that is the first stage of creating the infrastructure. But you need to do this task. Okay. Now let's go in the last one. I recently taught you about constraint, right? So let's suppose I want to connect two tables. So there is accounts table, there is ID column. There is accounts ID, right?
Yeah.
In the accounts table, if there is ID, so that ID, so we can call it is accounts ID, right?
Yeah.
Now let's go in another table. So we go in the election table. There is also account ID is present, right? So this
Yeah.
account ID and this account ID is representing same information.
Yeah.
So the column present in the accounts table that representing primary key. Okay. Whereas in this one, it's going to be my foreign key. So this kind of connectivity I made into the entire document. It will take at least year to complete. Okay. Because you know what, this is going to be very difficult. But there's only one concept here. We only created the database. Okay. We only created the tables. We haven't feed the data, right?
Yeah.
We only created the database. So that is simply called infrastructure development. Remember that. Now there is a TS and DEs are present, like a data scientist and a data engineers are present who can do this task. Okay. Now let's we talk about. I believe it's understood to you, right? How why infrastructure
Yeah.
development is
Yeah.
perfect. Now let's talk about data retrieval. Now I'll tell you one thing. You know what? Let's suppose I develop an infrastructure 5 years back because my company was started in like in 2010. Today is 2024, right? So in
Yeah.
these entire years, I am storing the data in those databases, right? I am storing the information in the databases. Now the concern is, let's suppose I want to predict the tomorrow's market. Let's suppose I want to perform the analysis on the data for last 3 years. So I need to extract the data of last 3 years only from the database, right?
Yeah.
That is called data retrieval. That is called data retrieval. Most probably you as a business analyst, you need to take care of this. not this. Okay, remember that, not this. This is going to be our work, data retrieval, that we are going to learn in our next thing. I believe till here everything is clear to you, right?
Yeah.
Now let's jump into the MySQL. So what is the MySQL workbench is? So MySQL workbench is the IDE. It is an IDE that we utilize to do the, to what I can say, it utilized to uh, perform the actions by using SQL language. Okay, SQL language.
Mhm.
Remember that SQL is a language, structure query language. Okay, who
Yeah.
can manage the data for us? Who can manage the data for us? Whereas MySQL workbench is a IDE that we use to operate on SQL. Okay, remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's do one thing. Okay, we are going to create the connection in that. So see, there was a MySQL connections was written.
Yeah.
You just need to click on this plus icon.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to click on plus icon, there was this kind of interface is going to be open in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the concern is I am going to write a connection. Sometime there is a multiple projects you need to handle in the industry. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that time to create a connection, based on the project name. So I am going to write a project one. Okay. Project one is going to be my connection name. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
next, there was a host name is written, right?
Yeah.
In the host name, remember one thing, you need to add your IP address. Okay. IP
Mm-hmm.
address actually by default there. Okay. Now your
Mm-hmm.
question is why there is IP, right? So it's very
Yeah.
simple here. Right now we are using our system's memory card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. No worries. I got some messages. Okay. Now what I am able to see here, I am using my memory card, my RAM, my ROM, my processor, right, of my system. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I use the identity as my IP address. Let's suppose company is going to provide me the server address. Let's suppose they gave me the address of SQL server. So I need to write down that address of that SQL server here. Okay. Remember this specific thing, very important. Okay. For yourself while working. Now, port number is simply a port that we utilize to communicate with the uh, memory card and our SQL, what I can say, MySQL workbench. So that is going to be there. Then you have a username that you created while that you actually never created. Okay, it's gonna be by default in the
Mm-hmm.
work. Okay, root, but the password you need to create it. When you click
Mm-hmm.
on this specific option, you need to write your password. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing here. Okay, I write it down this specific thing. Okay, over here. When I click on OK, when I click on OK, I just need to click on the test connection. See, you are saying successfully made the connection.
Yeah.
When I click on OK, I just again need to click on OK. Now, see, there was a project one is created, right?
Yeah.
You just need to click on open. Now let's write down the next one. Okay, that we are going to understand. When you open it for the first time, okay, after installation of a Sakila database on, okay, so this
Mm-hmm.
kind of infrastructure is going to be there in front of you. Okay, so what are the things you need to understand about this specific thing? Okay, so that I am going to tell you. So simply you need to first you need to understand about this one. Let me highlight it. This what I can say. deselect all the ones. Okay, now you can see in front of you. This is called query window. This is called query window. There you need to write a query. Okay, where you need to write the query. Remember, in the SQL we write a hyphen for writing comments. Okay, it is for writing comments. Remember that. Okay. Now, apart from that, you can see there was a limit to 50,000. When you open it for the first time, the limit is for 1,000 rows. So you can click here and you can select 50,000 rows. Okay.
Okay.
This is called query editor. It is called query editor or the query window. Now this, you can see there was a three option. Look at my cursor very carefully.
Yeah.
So you can see here there is a three option. When I click on the first option, it's going to highlight the first panel, that is called navigator panel. It is called
Yeah.
navigator panel. Okay, where I have all the navigation things. Now the concern is, this is called management console. This is called management console. But right now we do not want to work into that, so we can click on schemas. When I click on schema, so I can see there was a multiple thing to look at. I can see Sakila database here, right?
Yeah.
So when I click on that drop down, it is going to show me the tables, view, store, position, and the function present in that specific one. Okay. So you simply need to, again click on this drop down. When you click on that, you are able to see the columns, tables present in the, what I can say. Give me a second.
The columns.
Yeah, tables present in the database, Sakila database. Okay. So we can see that actor is there, address is there, category is there, city is there, country is there, right? So I am going to fetch the data present in the actor table.
Sir, you already installed the Sakila database before?
Oh yeah, it is already in my system from, no.
Yeah.
When I install my SQL workbench in my system, after that I need to install it from the other side.
Yeah, because I see in the YouTube they are going after Workbench. They are making the connection and they are going the server option and data import. They will selecting to get the
It
SQL
is here,
database.
it is
Yeah,
data import and restore, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so you can take that particular method to install it. Okay.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah. So don't worry, because it's already 7:26. I'm going to tell you the introduction today. Okay. You have a day. You can go through it. From tomorrow we can start. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So let's suppose I want to see the data present in the actor table. So I need to click on this slash button. See, when I move my cursor on the actor, there are the three options are going to be appear in front of me. So what
Yeah,
I need to do, there is a last option. Table
yeah.
and slash is actually on that. So when I click on this, so this kind of output is going to be there in front of me. Now the concern is I'm not able to see what happened with the data. So I need to select this second option present in that highlighter. When I click on this is called output console. This is called
Output.
output console. Okay, this is called output console, where I can see what exactly happened to this. So I have total 200 rows. Remember one thing, when in the output console, you need to check two things. First one, that green tick, and second one is that how many rows are the messages only. Okay, these are the two things you need to look at. Now let me remove this A from here. And when I see, there was a two option, slash and slash and slash I. So when you need to execute entire script, that time you need to use slash. Whereas when you want to use only one single line that I actually selected, where my cursor is, so I am going to use slash. So right now I have only single line, so I'm going to click on slash I. So see, it is showing me red across. Red across means error. Okay, error, right? Error means simply here you need to check error code 1049 unknown database Sakila. Sakil, right? So I know
Yeah,
that there is a no database named Sakil. That's why this error is going to become, right?
yeah,
So I write A here. When I write A and again I'm writing slash I, so it's going to show me the things, right? See,
yeah.
same thing is going to show. Remember, this is called handling the errors in SQL. Handling the errors in the SQL. How we can look at the error. This is going to be very specific. Messages you need to read. Now let's suppose I want to close this specific output. So I just need to see there was actor 2, right?
Yeah.
I just need to click on this cross. When I click on the cross, output is going to be disappear in front from my side. Okay. Now, recently taught you about this infrastructure, right? That is called
Yeah.
ER diagram in the language. In the SQL, we can call it EER diagram. Okay. So when I click on
Mhm.
database, what I need to do, let me tell you about this specific thing very clearly, that how to use and where to use what. Okay. So you need to click on database. After clicking on database, you need to click on reverse engineer. What I did,
Mhm.
I click on database, then I click on reverse engineer. In the
Mhm.
reverse engineer, I need to execute all these steps. Okay.
Mhm.
Now he was asking me store connection. So I need to open my connection. So I recently created a project one, right? I'm
One.
going to click the project one. After selecting the connection, I need to click next. When I click on next, again, I need to click on next. He was saying select the schema you want to include. Means you need to select the database that you want to see. So I want to see the Sakila. So I'm going to select the Sakila database. After selecting the Sakila database, I need to click on next.
Mhm.
When I click on next, I just need to click on next, execute, next, let it be one, next, finish.
Mhm.
After finishing, you can see this kind of diagram is there. So you just need to right click and you can move this box.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is called ER diagram. This is called ER diagram. ER diagram is also called entity relationship diagram. ER diagram is also called entity
Yes.
relationship diagram. Okay. Remember these specific stuff. Okay. For yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. For
Yeah.
the future also.
Mhm.
You need to be very specific about this. So now, after knowing this specific thing, let's suppose I want to move two tables. Because you know what, while retrieving the data, I need to move the tables, right? Even I am going to ask you to move the tables. So what you need to do, you need to move, let's suppose I want to move the staff table, film actor table, okay, and the
Mhm.
actor table aside. So see, I can see these tables, right?
Yeah.
So I can move them also. So let's suppose I have one actor table, so I can move them according to my valuation. Okay. Because you know
Mhm.
what, while doing the querying, I only needed three tables. So it is very difficult to, imagine the tables inside this entire diagram, right? So what I'm going to do, I am going to map out my other tables at the left hand side or right hand side. Okay. So now another thing is how to justify the points. So remember one thing, when I move my cursor here, I can see the connection,
Yes.
the common column between the tables, right? Common column between the tables. So in this specific one, I am not able to see. Let me zoom in. Oh, sorry, zoom out. Sorry, I meant to zoom in. So see, when I move my cursor on this line, so I can see actor ID is a common column between them. So there is a small int is also written. So small int is a data type. Remember that. Column name is actor ID. So actor ID is common between both the tables. Now, one thing you need to understand, okay? So in this specific one, whenever you see such a what I can say, single parallel line, okay? Whenever you see what single parallel line, you need to say that it is a foreign key table. It is a foreign key table. When you have a two parallel line, look at here. There is a two parallel line, right?
Mhm.
So whenever you see such a two parallel line, are you able to see the two parallel lines?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are able to see the two parallel line, you can say that this is the primary table. So in this actor table, the actor ID is going to be primary, whereas in the film actor, the actor ID is going to be my foreign key. Okay.
Warranty.
Remember that is this is how we can justify the primary key and foreign key into the SQL. I believe it's
Mhm.
clear, right?
Yeah.
This is how we can justify our points into the system. Now, apart from that, what is the things you can understand about your diagram? Actually, this much information is enough actually. Okay, for working. Now let's go into the things. What are the things apart from that I need to teach you? Okay, so let's take some idea on theoretical concepts in SQL. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let me take it right. We have a 30 minutes still in our hand. So I'm going to tell you about joins in SQL. Most probably there is a three joins that we probably use in the companies. First is called inner, second is called left, and the last one is called right. 3 1, very important. Three tables are, three joints are very important joints. Okay. Now let me tell you about a joint one by one. What is the first one that is called?
Inner join.
Inner join. Okay. So always remember, it is going to show the common records. It is going to show the common records between the tables. Okay, so now I am going to tell you something about this one. So you need to write down a table, that is I am writing std table, sorry, t1. This is going to be my std id and the name. I am writing t2 here, again std id and marks. Okay, let me change the color so it will be going to be more beautiful. So I'm writing std id as a 1 2 3, a name I'm writing Praful, Vishal and Rahul. Now in the std id I'm writing only 1 and 3, and I'm writing 100 150. Okay, now after that what I need to do, I need to write a query, right?
Yeah.
Suppose I have these two tables t1 and t2. I have this data present in both the tables. Now I need to write a query. So how is the query is going to look like? Select star from t1 inner join on t2. I need to write on t1.stdid is equals to t2.stdid. Now remember one thing about these specific tables, okay? So I need to have the common column between the tables, okay? Who can represent the same information. Maybe column name is different, but they need to represent the same information. Then only I am able to do the inner join. Okay?
Yeah.
So remember that. After having this, let's write about the output. Let me change the color to this green. So I need to write a stdid. Just because of I write a star, star means entire things, okay? All the columns present in the things. So I'm writing stdid, name, stdid, and marks, right?
Yeah.
After writing this, I need to write the only common records. So what are the common records? 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Name is like Praful and
Rahul.
Rahul, right? Now stdid is again 1 3. Mark is like 100
100.
and 1. Okay, so this is basically called output of.
Inner join.
This is going to be, entire things are going to be output of inner join. If someone asks you the Venn diagram, so you can create this kind of Venn diagram. AB common record. Okay, this is also called intersection. In the mathematical language, we call it an intersection. Okay, so this is how it works. That is basically called what? Inner join. I believe inner join is clear to you, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now we are going to jump on the left join. So it is going to give me common record and or records from. Okay, remember that. What I said, it is going to give me the all the common records and all the records from the left table. Okay, so I need to write down some tables for you. I am writing T1 here. Again, stdid, name. Okay, T2, stdid. Okay, and marks I'm writing. I'm writing here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, in this one I'm writing Praful, Vishal, Rahul, Sachin, and Nikhil. These are the names. I write it down. Apart from that, I'm writing 1, 3, and 4. Marks I'm writing 100, 150, 130. Okay, this is going to be my marks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is the next thing I'm going to write? And I have to write a query, right?
Yeah.
So how query is going to look like? Let me write the query for you. So it look like a select star from T1 left join T2, okay, on T1 dot stdid is equals to T2 dot stdid. This is the query is going to be, okay. Remember, in this specific what I can say case, you need to say that your T1 is going to be left table
Mm-hmm.
and your T2 is going to be your. Now remember one thing, let's suppose I write a select star from T2 left join T1 on T1 dot stdid is equals to T2 dot stdid. Still that T2 is going to be my left table. Okay, in that case. Remember this specific thing. The position are always going to be same. This is going to be your left table. This is going to be your right table. Understood?
Yeah.
Now let's write down the output of this. So how output is going to look like? I need to write all the column name first. What are the all column names? stdid,
Yeah.
name, right? Again stdid and marks. Which one is the left table I have? T1, right? So I need to write all the records from left table.
Yeah.
So I need to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I need to write a name like a Praful, Vishal, Rahul, Sachin, and Nikhil. Right? stdid, the common records also I need to write, right? So 1 is there. So I am writing 100. Then there is a 3 is also there. So 3 is there is like a 3, 150, right? Then there is a
Yeah.
4 is also there. So 4 and 130, right? So what about
Yeah.
the remaining record? So it is going to be NAM. It is going to be what? NAM.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the company, people morely ask on from where exactly we took the null records. From where you get the null records to that while doing the while doing the analysis, we got that there is a data pre-processing we need to do. So company will ask you where exactly the null value is going to be generated. So this is the place where null values are generated most probably.
Mm-hmm.
Understood? So this is how we need to go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is called left join. This is called left
Yeah.
join. Now let's go and understand the last join. That is my right join. Let me change it to the black. So I'm writing here right join. So it is going to give me all records from right table and common records. Right, this is something I need to write. Again, I am going to create the same thing for you. I am going to create a T1 first. In the T1, I am writing stdid name. Sorry, yeah, name. Then T2, I am writing stdid and marks. Okay, I write it both the things. I am writing
Mm-hmm.
here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Names are like Praful, Vishal, Rahul, Sachin, Nikhil, Shrikant. I'm writing stdid like a 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, these are the I write it. Now 100, 120, 130, 140, 120. What is the next step is going to be querying, right?
Yeah.
How the query is going to look like. So I am going to write a query for you. Let me change the color to the green. I am writing a select star from T1 right join T2, okay, on T1 dot stdid is equals to T2 dot stdid. Let me give the semicolon. So
Mm-hmm.
output. Before jumping for the output, I need to tell you already this is going to be my left table, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be right. So what I'm going to do, I'm in the output. You need to be very specific while writing. So I am
Mm-hmm.
writing here stdid name stdid marks. So first I need to write all the data from the right table, right? So right table is going to be
Yeah.
this T2. So I need to write a 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 6, 7, and 8. I need to write a marks like 100,
Mm-hmm.
120, 130, 140, and 120. I need to write down the common records also. So what are the common record? The first record. So I'm writing 1, Raful.
Three.
I need to write a 3. 3. 3 is for Rahul, right?
Yeah.
So Rahul is going to be there. What is the 6? 6 is there? Yeah, Shrikant is there. So I'm writing 6, Shrikant. What about remaining one? So they're going to be NAN. So
Yeah.
136 is already done. So it's going to be NAN, NAN. It is again NAN. This is going to be NAN. Okay. So this is now you maybe ask me a question. What about 4 and 5? So 4 and 5 is not in the common. It's not in the right table also. That's why they're going to be vanish. They're going to
Yeah.
be vanish. They are not going to be part of your what I can say. They are not going to be part of your query output of your query. Okay. This is called right
Mm-hmm.
join. Remember, there is so many joints we have, but most probably the company is going to ask you about what are the basic joints you have. So you need to be tell them about these ones, sir. I only work with this one regularly. That's why I know about them. Okay, so you
Mm-hmm.
can tell them that it would be
Yeah.
more beneficial for you. Okay, dear. Go ahead. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me stop. Go ahead. Share it.
Sir, can you see my screen?
Not really, Ankita. Now it's visible here.
Okay. Now?
Yeah,
Okay. So here I make the new connection and
but I'm not able to see your window. Actually, you only share the one tab. Share the entire screen.
okay.
Yeah. Mm, Perfect. Let's create it. Very good.
So
Okay. In
this
place of
page,
that, can you tell me, have you download that zip file?
I download zip file. Yeah, I I download two types of file. Yeah, one is zip one.
Yeah, where it is? Can you show me in the file explorer, please?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Open that folder. Not a zip folder, dear. You extracted the folder, right?
Yeah, yeah, sorry.
The first folder. Yeah, very good. Now let me tell you something. Okay.
Mhm.
Open your MySQL database.
Yeah.
Yeah, we open it. Now in
Yeah.
place of new connection. Oh, one second. No. This is not needed. Go at the home. Click on home button. Yeah, close this one also. Yeah. Yeah, go on the click on that. Click on plus option. Yeah. Yeah, click on that. Write down the name connection one. Click on store in vault. Store in vault. Yeah. Write down your password.
Okay. And the test connection.
Yeah. Uh, why you were saying? Have you written the correct password?
I didn't connect before. I just make a connection.
No. Have you written the correct password that I'm saying?
No, I just created, na sir.
No. While installation, you have to create a password.
Oh, that time I'm not making any password.
Okay, let me do one thing for you. I'm going to tell you about how to install MySQL. I'll send you the corrected videos, okay? So
Okay.
that you can use them and you can go through it, okay?
Okay.
It would be better. Yeah. Click on cancel. I'll send it to you, okay, on your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, dear. Let me stop recording.